All right, I'd like to call the North Canton Board of Control virtual meeting for Friday, May 1st, 2020 at 9 a.m. Present in the room is, we'll have a roll call, excuse me.
Member Wilder.
Member Wilder's here.
Member Fox.
Here.
Member Alavak.
Here.
Member Diorio is here.
All right, Mr. Diorio, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you for your directions.
If the chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from April 7th meeting, that would be appropriate.
The chair makes a motion to accept the minutes from April 7th, 2020.
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Fox. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries for acceptance of the minutes. Thank you.
Okay, in regards to the second item on the agenda, agreement for purchase of property is authorized by City Council. On Wednesday of this week, it's April 29th, I believe, the City Council met at 5 o'clock to approve a acquisition of commercial real estate for a property located at 1212 North Main Street, locally known as the former site of the United States Postal Service. There is a real estate purchase agreement that is in place, and it was signed and executed on March the 25th, countersigned on March 30th, and we have been for the last few weeks working on getting to closing, and we have that set for Monday, May the 4th. We have received the wiring instructions and settlement documents today. The agreed purchase price for this parcel was $688,000 even, 688 even. This parcel is part of a potentially series of parcels where the future home of a new EMS, fire, police building would be. And that's the nature of the purchase.
I'm having trouble hearing you, Pat. That's the nature.
That is the nature of this purchase.
Thank you.
Member Diorio. Discuss the overall.
I can't hear Tim. Or was that off?
I'm asking Member Diorio if we want to discuss the overall plan and how this purchase comes into this plan, and perhaps what would happen if how we're looking at support for that plan. Is there an alternative? Should that not come to fruition?
Yes, thank you, Member Fox. So in the, as we look at this, the city has been working for a couple years now to try to get a need satisfied for a police fire EMS building. There have been numerous reasons over the last 2 years expressed as to why we need that. And I think as we're looking at today's environment with a global pandemic, it spells out the urgency even more to protect our police, fire, and EMS personnel with social distancing in the place that they do business and sleep and otherwise reside. We had engaged an architecture firm to come up with a design to work with the various department heads to determine what are the actual needs, space-wise, how this would lay out. Drawings have been put together, and computations made. Through that process, it was determined that a total acreage of approximately 3 acres would be needed to house this facility. In the past, we had received an offer from the Industrial Realty Group for 3 acres of ground within the Hoosier district. That proved to be not a location that the community could support. So it caused us to have to start looking elsewhere. In consultation with the chiefs of police and fire EMS, it was their strong insistence that a location be obtained on Main Street, and that really anywhere on Main Street would be sufficient, but they couldn't entertain being, say, on Apple Road or on East Maple or something that had to be on Main Street. They would be able to keep their response times in order. As we began to start to search this out, it became apparent that there were a few properties for sale that, if brought together in the aggregate, would constitute 3.5 acres, which would be sufficient.
I'm having a really hard time hearing you guys.
Okay, where did you
It was apparent that there were a few properties for sale.
it was apparent that there were can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. It was apparent that there were a few properties for sale that, if taken in the aggregate, would constitute 3.5 acres, which would meet the requirement of the design as laid out by the architects. So at that time, the property at 1212 North Main was listed for sale, and the city began to inquire as to that nature of that property. And through that, we also taken note that the property at 1136 North Main was for sale, and that there were discussions ongoing with 1200 North Main that indicated that that property would be for sale. So we've entered into negotiations with the affected parties and actually have been able to get under contract, subject to closing and due diligence, 3 of the 4 parcels so far. They represent the 3 parcels that front Main Street, and there's an additional parcel that is approximately 1.37 acres that resides behind these 3 that would be also anticipated in making that acquisition of that property as well. So as those continue to move forward, this was the first one to come up. So this is how it fits together in the total plan of why this location works out, and that 3 of the 4 properties were already listed or about to be listed in the market. Now, there will be I'm sure that the administration, behest of the mayor, will lead an effort to educate and inform the public as to the need for a police, fire, EMS building, and that measures will have to be taken through the city council to place some type of issue on the ballot in 2021, and pending the outcome of that vote will determine which direction the city would go. So plan A would be, if the measure is approved, we would be able to move forward with the final design, engineering, and construction of the facility at this location. Should the voters not approve that, then the city would be able to put together an economic development plan for reconstituting those parcels for some economic development purpose. So there is a plan B, if that is the idea of what you were hoping that I would address.
It's exactly that. There was one other provision that you had mentioned before, if you could elaborate on.
Tim, can you come closer, please? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Yes, there was one other provision that Member DiOrio had mentioned outside of this, and I just wanted to put this on the record for the Board of Control, that there was another significant factor on the aggregate of these properties and how they're zoned in that area, and that if you go into how it differs with perhaps some other locations where what your neighbors are in this for parcel aggregate.
Yes, the zoning on Main Street in this area is zoned general business. It is in a business district. Adjacent to the north is the Goodwill Properties and Starbucks. Across the street is a drugstore and an auto parts store. To the immediate south is a plaza in which there is commercial, retail, office structures. This site is desirable in respect to particularly the EMS and fire operations. Probably in that order. When an ambulance goes out, an EMS, the sirens are on. And at that location on 7th Street, which is in a residential area, it is causing great disturbances over the years and complaints to the city about, do we have to turn the sirens on? Getting this out on Main Street in this commercial district would not pose that type of problem for the city. With the garage bays facing Main Street, they'd be able to just pull right out onto Main Street with the sirens going. If it gets a little loud right now, we have a city street sweeper just outside the office, so I'm going to pause for just a minute.
Okay.
Like a train on the tracks, it only stops when you're waiting.
I think he's past the building, but he's still out there, but I think he'll be able to hear me.
Okay.
And then so immediately to the east of this property is an apartment building, and then a rather large apartment building with its own set of streets, private streets. So it's a pretty decent sized complex, and then we don't get into residential until we get past further east on that.
Thank you, Member DiOrio. I imagine the membership of the board had some prior knowledge of this, but if we don't share it with the public and for others that are going to read this a year from now or 5 years from now, they at least know those factors that we have that certainly gone into great detail.
I can't hear Tim.
That I wanted to get on the record for the Board of Control members, some things that the membership themselves may be aware of in
in formulating the membership's decisions in this. But without us illustrating those for the record, they don't know the factors that we've contemplated, such as that this is a business district, the noise factor, its central location, ease of on and off Main Street, and that would likely reduce what's already a very fast response throughout the city, and reduce those concerns and complaints for fire EMS calls coming out of a residential neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. This is Mayor Wilder. I'd like to just add a couple comments, if I may. One of the main reasons we were fortunate to have this land acquisition was that was one of the questions in the past as to where would a safety service complex or campus be located. Having this location come up, it was an opportunity for us to move forward and acquire that land and the surrounding properties to allow us to have a safer approach to the building for our employees, for our fire personnel. But also, there's other things that go on. That the technology has advanced that we don't have available for us at our current maybe in police or fire departments. Just alone decontamination of our firefighters from any type of call that they may go on. And so these are things that we have looked at. The other thing too was we had the land acquired. We reestablished a sound and stable revenue stream for this project. And I think that in the future, this will be something that will be accessible to our community, but also provide a safe environment for our police and fire personnel, and have it be a hallmark of our community that we've evolved out of the 70s from our current location, we're in the basement of City Hall, to an actual facility available to our public, and also providing safe and accessible services coming from that building and the actions of the people involved. So just wanted to add a certain comment there that this will be quite an addition for our community and for our personnel for the next many, many years. Thank you.
If there's any other comments, I'd like the chair to entertain a motion to approve this commercial real estate purchase agreement with 10 Mile Creek Partners.
With
10 Mile Creek Partners.
uh-huh.
A motion's on the floor as described by, or explained by Mr. Diorio.
I'll second.
There's a second by Ms. Gina Alabak. Is there any further discussion? The motion's on the floor. It's been seconded. I'll call for a roll call for approval. Mayor Wilder says aye.
Member Fox.
Aye.
Member Alabak. Member Diorio votes yes.
At this time, is there anything else to come before the board? If not, motion to adjourn.
I would move to adjourn.
Mr. Diorio motions. Second goes to Mr. Fox.
Yes, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for your time and the privilege to present this in the support of the board.